Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Video Game Choo Choo Podcast. My name is Scott. This is a very slow and sultry recording. On a kind of recording it after midnight. This is an after hours record. And also I'm sick and my voice sounds like shit. So I want to introduce my friends I'm joined with at this very nice and moody what's the word I'm looking for here? This there's a vibe to this hour.
Atmospheric?
This atmospheric time. Franny?
Yes.
What's the vibe?
The vibe is dark. The vibe is cold. The vibe is a little wet. What's going on?
All right. And this wouldn't be a sultry episode if we didn't have Maverick here as well. Maverick, how wet is it for you?
Bro, it's 12:21. You can't be asking me that shit.
And we're here to talk about video games. Video games came out. Before we get into that, I want to real quick talk about last week we did our biggest game of the year ever, I think. We did our game of the year live stream, the real raw Video Game Choo Choo Awards, the live Video Game Choo Choo Award show. And it was an astounding success considering how many things could have gone wrong. And how many things did.
Very ambitious.
It was very ambitious, and it went extremely well considering. Mav, you were in fact there with us, and I felt so bad during the whole time because we started using video.ninja, which is a very helpful like open source broadcasting tool that lets you split like webcam sources as their own video sources for OBS. So it's very good for just like putting people on their own specific like cameras and stuff, which is something that's way more difficult to do in Discord and Zoom and stuff like that. And it lets you format it however you want it, which is really nice. But you were having a lot of trouble connecting to it.
Well, yeah, no, because, mind you, this was before I ultimately upgraded my apartment's internet for the full gigabit, and...
Oh, let's go.
I can actively see the difference, especially there, where, again, now, I was pulling 150 up, 150 down when I was lucky, because also that was the maximum bandwidth that we had access to.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, you sound nice over Discord. You sound very normal over Discord. But over video, there was a very distinct, like, this person is coming in through a mic situation going on.
It sounded like I was going to start saying slurs on Xbox Live.
But also because you were having connection issues there, you couldn't hear anyone except for, like, Solon, who was producing the show.
Because we had Solon on Discord still, who could, like, let me know what's going on. But all my screens on video were dark, so I could not hear.
I felt
anything
so bad.
That was going on.
I felt so bad because, the more I was thinking about it, like the more we were doing it, the entire plan was we'll just have Maverick introduce the show, and then we'll move on. He can stick around. He can help with like moderation and stuff, and he can help Solon produce. That was help keep things moving. That was my whole thought process going into it. And then you literally couldn't do anything except we were still getting your audio. So we were able to arrange you being able to say the intro.
Yeah.
It was, but you were still hanging out with us the entire time. You just couldn't hear anyone talk.
That could have been the bit, Maverick coming to you live from like a damp cave.
Well, it could have been, but like we wouldn't have been able to like throw to him. Like we wouldn't have been able to like.
No, we could have
talk
done
with
is
him
like
or anything.
Basically, someone would have just said, like, okay, talk now. To be like, I sure hope things are going okay out there in a video game choo-choo land.
I really wanted to just be like, hey, if you want to just hop off, like, it's fine. Like, I felt so bad, like, keeping you there, like, while you were doing, while we were doing this thing, and I don't know, it felt rough. I'm genuinely sorry with how that turned out. I wish.
No, it's fine. It kept me tuned in, and I just focused on formatting our overall post for the Game of the Year award stuff.
You did. You were very helpful with that, and like there usually our like chat on Twitch is not like that, like that. Like, we don't get people coming in being rude and stuff. It's very rare. So it helps to have people like moderating and stuff, but like, see, it seemed like you were keeping it good. You were doing good at like staying on task.
Yeah.
It was really fun. It was a hell of a game of the year. I finished my game of the year list 2 days before I went up or something. The day before, something like that. Because because it was like I was entirely heads down in video production pretty much the entire month trying to get this thing finished. But it all turned out really well. I'm genuinely glad with what we put out there. How was Franny? This is Franny and Mav. This is both your second game of the year, I believe.
Yes.
How have your game of the year experiences gone?
It was nice. This year I tried to watch the stream, but my internet kept cutting in and out. So that was fine. It cut out while it was playing my little Pentiment moment. And it was cut out, and I was like, oh, no game of the year for me. And then it cut out again before I could like explain myself, so I kind of just looked like an asshole. And that's all right, honestly. It's okay. But I saw the rest of it. I loved what you guys did.
Hell yeah.
I was so deep in photo stuff that I was not as active as I wish I had been. But I love what you guys put together. I'm glad I could really pull through for Pentiment.
You did. You made a real Pentiment sweep happen.
I love that game.
Is it? I still need to play it. It's still installed on my Steam Deck.
Yeah.
I'll get around to it at some point.
It is substantial. Yeah. It is one of those games where you think it's like it could end right now. No, you got another like 6 hours. It's all great, but it keeps going. Not in a bad way, but it does keep going.
Yeah. Maverick, how was your Game of the Year experience this year?
I mean, I think it was fine overall. Like, I'm struggling to think about last year's, and I don't know, man. There's also just
man. That's how it goes.
There's just a lot of other stuff going on too. At that point, like, I think I managed to get a lot of my GOTY stuff in before like getting fired.
God, yeah,
which is neat, but man, I don't know. This one definitely made me appreciate just like the amount of work it did put in. Like, I joke about it, but it's funny that it was easy for me to at least figure out like my top 2 games, but then to figure out the rest of it is kind of like, oh fuck, man, I don't know. I just know the shit that I did not enjoy because that's also on the website right now.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
My method is just like, I start a doc at the beginning of every year, and I just list every single game that I play, and I do like a very tentative order of what I liked more or less, and it's like,
see, that's smart.
I take notes now for like all the games. I take little notes, and then I just go, oh yeah, I liked this one more than this one, but like definitely the notes have started helping.
Mm-hmm.
I ought to do that more, but if anything, it does help that I at least know, like, already there are a few games that A, are, like, definitely in that list, and B, I want to get to, that will probably end up on that list as well. But like 22 is weird.
Yeah.
There's a lot of solid stuff that I'll eventually... I think part of it too is like there's so many things that like were either sequels that were already like solid or like just was stuff that I could not find myself really getting motivated to get invested in yet.
Yeah. This was a hell of a year. Game of the Year definitely took a toll on me. I did genuinely get sick working through like all this stuff, which is why I sound like I do right now. But when we did the live stream, like when I was, I think, like at my sickest, and I just like it was pure adrenaline the entire time. Like I felt so I felt so sick going into it, and then I felt pure adrenaline, totally normal the entire time. And then as soon as we finished, I'm like, I need to go to bed. I need to lie the hell down.
You didn't see the part where he held you hostage with a live gun.
So bad.
I was so sick the entire time.
And the entire time, I had just my big gun pointed at him, telling him to continue.
Odd.
Talk about the games, Game Boy.
Yeah. And you couldn't hear me say no over and over again.
No, I couldn't. All I heard were the videos, which really well done. I'm
really glad with how those turned out. Speaking of video games and playing them and enjoying them, let's talk a bit about the video games. Maverick, what have you been playing?
What have I been playing? What the fuck have I been playing?
Well, I see two things that you have totally written down as playing, so you can't even do this bit on me.
No. I can still do this bit because one game has retroactively like halted my entire progress on my projected games activity. Like a Dragon Ishin is a game for the PS4 and 5 based on the game Ryoga Gotoku Ishin, which released earlier. Sort of one of the two sort of like side games that RGG Studios put out that were sort of like that bit. Like I feel like it's a more common thing that people give credit, where it's like, what if we take our cast for this show and have them like do an episode or like a bit where it's like, we're all historical figures and like here's how everyone matches based on like their personalities and all that, and it's like a fun time, you know. Like all I can think about is like the Sweet Life of Zack and Cody episode where it all takes place during like the Declaration of Independence or like the Boston Tea Party,
right?
But I feel like it's something that happens more often than not, and this is one of the two games that focuses on that, where it's like, let's take a moment in Japanese history and get our cast from the Yakuza series in there as like various different people and have some hoots and hollers and have a good time. We don't have Kenzan because as far as if I remember specifically, that details the story of his name always escapes me. Miyamoto Musashi, who of course is played by Kiryu Kazuma, but I believe that the wife figure in Kenzan is played by essentially Haruka, which is really weird, and nobody likes that, so that's why they haven't ported it. And here we have a game where you are Kiryu Kazuma as Sakamoto Ryuma, a member of the Shinsengumi who plays a critical role in sort of like the end stages of the the shogunate period. I want to say it's such a very specific point in Japanese history, but it's like essentially by the end, and I don't even need to get to the end to know this, we are setting up a space where, hey, you know, the country's going to unify. And then we're going to do all the war crimes that we actively choose not to talk about up until, you know, getting in related to the Axis powers and all that. Love the Taisho era, love the Meiji Revolution. I don't. But, you know, it's like, I see some people get to the end and it's like, I can't believe this is happening. And it's like, dog, you could Google just like a little bit. I'm not even like on you for knowing every little bit. I don't know every little bit, but it's like that level of awareness that like, yeah, no, we're having fun samurai times for like 90% of it. This is ultimately going to end with a very, very big push for Japanese nationalism, because that's what that is what this game is talking about, with the way that it is a land divided that is going to get together. And then we're going to go kind of be a bit too off the goop about it, because we are now a unified country again. You know, it when a nation state has the option to be a superpower, and at a very like a particular moment in history, things happen, and that's definitely history that you have to look at, not in a like flattering light. You sort of just have to like understand all of it and like bear witness to it all. But I'm not talking about like a Dragon Ishin because it has any sort of like significant like commentary on the history. Nah, bro. This game has a farming mechanic and a crafting mechanic that has been driving me nuts. Like, I'm mad at how much time I'm spending simply going between. So there's a part in the game where eventually you get to like this whole like another life segment where you essentially like help out a random girl who essentially again is like Haruka in this case, so it isn't even like we're avoiding making her pertinent to the story. Here she is just like the person you help out get out of debt for their house, and then you just live at the house, and then there's like it's like a whole little like slice of life thing that it tries to do, which is like whatever. It's weird.
So it's frustrating because it's not good. Not frustrating like, oh, I'm spending so much time with it because I love it.
No, it's just fine. It's whatever. Because like there'll be bits where it's like, oh, Uncle. So in the purpose of the story, Sakamoto Ryoma has to disguise, go undercover, and so he uses the name Saito Hajime to get it over a lot of places. So everyone calls him Saito. Here, Haruka calls you Uncle Hajime because it's like, get it? These are the two. It's the father surrogate and the daughter. So, not trying to make it weird. But then there are also bits where it's like, hey, can I wash your back? Hey, can I clean your ears? And it's like, man, I don't get it. It's not creepy, but it's like, this ain't my bag.
Right.
No, but other than that, I mean, literally, like, the farming is the easiest way to get money in the game. And so I'll just be, like, stocking up crops and then, like, hours just spent to build up hundreds of dollars for the bullshit crafting system that is so expensive and so costly and so time-consuming. But that's how you get the best swords in the game, so that you can just go through more stuff and have an easier time.
I hate it when I have to get swords. No, that's a lie. I love it when I have to get more swords.
I would love to get more swords, but I wish that they were like...
I hate the process of getting more swords.
Yes, I hate the process of getting more swords. I hate the fact that not every sword is good. Or like just... it's all... You have the whole like rarity aspect as well, which is whatever. And all this comes in with the fact too that like your leveling mechanic is like split in a lot of different ways, where it's like you have the main leveling up of like you as you gain experience, but then you have 4 different styles, which are like barefisted, swordsman, gunman, and like wild soul or whatever, wild dance, which is you gun and sword. And you have to use each of those a specific amount of times to then like gain experience in those specific ones, and it is very cumbersome in a way that it makes sense. Like if, and I'm just going to like double check this on my end, but if I'm thinking about when things got like released, it makes sense that like right after this you get Yakuza 0 that is much more streamlined in like what it's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is the hurdle to get to that point.
Yeah.
Is Kenny Omega in this one?
Yeah.
Okay.
He is a Shinsengumi captain, like, card, basically. And just like a power up. Yeah.
Good to see Kenny get his due. Best bout.
Okay, yeah. Ishin came out in 2014, and then Zero would come out in 2017. Zero has a much more streamlined way of doing its things, and
There's nothing between them? That feels like a big gap for the Yakuza games.
I mean, like...
I guess, like, Zero was, like, their big reboot anyways, and 7 comes, like, very close after that, but yeah.
It's also just, like, another thing where, like, you have to keep in mind that, like, there is some, like, not big time padding, but yeah, between 5 and 0 is, like, at least a 2-year difference.
Mm-hmm.
So Ishin is, like, right before Yakuza 5, but then that's also taking into account that, like, you know, there are some 5 characters in the original version that in the update they do replace some of those 5 characters with a lot of, like, people from 0 and from Like a Dragon, Yakuza 7. Okay. A lot of just, like, refurbishing.
Makes sense.
All right.
And any more Ishin thoughts you got to share?
Not really. Again, it's like
we can move on.
Yeah. Walk, don't run to get this game.
Franny.
Well said. Yeah.
What's I'm feeling pretty unbound lately, but I don't know if I got anywhere to go, you know?
You know, they have a space for that.
They what?
They have a space for the Unbound. Did you know that? They just came out with
I didn't. Tell me all about this.
So I played one of a few games that I played in the last, looks like 3 months now. Was A Space for the Unbound. It's published by the same folks who did, like, Coffee Talk and all that. It's about being, like, a high schooler in Indonesia in the 90s, but it's also about, like, having X-Men type powers. And it's just gorgeous.
Pretty good. You're hooking me.
And it's like, it's an adventure game, but a lot of it is, like, point and click. It's and it's made really cohesively, like all the parts of the town that need to be available to you, like, are available to you when you need them, and, like, items pop up when you need them. Not in, like, a predictable way. It's very helpful. And the story is really, like, kind of gut-wrenching by the time you get to the end of it. It's, like, very deep. It's incredibly well developed. It's, like, it's got, like, the kind of emotional resonance that you would have from, like, a story about, like, teenagers with powers dealing with like really, really bleak stuff. It's absolutely gorgeous, like I said. And the thing that struck me the most about it was, like, how it looks, the color palette that they chose. You know, the developers said that they wanted to, again, capture what it was like to grow up in Indonesia in the 90s. But it has that feeling that I see sometimes get talked about, just wherever, that kind of way that people talk about nostalgia, where it's like, how come when we were in elementary school the world looked like this, and it was like a filter on a video, and you're like, okay, but, like, also you're, like, a little bit right. I'm, like, feeling it. There's a lot of elements there that explain why the world looks different, but, you know, it's got that, just that, like, slightly hazy, really vibrant feel to it. It gives you such a good feeling to play, and the story is incredible. I'd love to write about it if I ever get my shit together. So I would give it like full points. It's amazing. Yeah, I would say go play it.
I've been playing a little bit. We'll get to the big one in a bit.
Yeah.
I just wanted to give a quick blanket recommendation to a little game both of you sounded pretty interested in playing. So I'm not gonna go too spoiler heavy, but a little thing called myhouse.wad dropped this past week, which is which is totally free. All you need is a copy of Doom 2, which is $5 right now on Steam. It is a Doom map. You do in fact gotta load that WAD. You do gotta grab GZ Doom. You do gotta drive. You can play the WAD, but from what I understand, the actual WAD itself is only like 5% of the map. So like you should just grab the package file that comes with that and play it instead. But it is really cool. It's the kind of thing that's really hard to talk about without like actively spoiling it. So I'm gonna at the very least read the post that the creator posted on the doomworld.com forum.
Mm-hmm.
The creator Veg writes, "Last August, I lost a good childhood friend of mine and took it pretty hard. When I was visiting my hometown for his funeral, I connected with his parents who shared with me some of his old belongings. Among them was a copy of an old map of his backed up on a 3.5-inch floppy from high school. Thomas and I were into amateur Doom mapping in the early 2000s, but I had never seen this map of his prior to uncovering it in one of the old floppy disks. As a way of paying tribute to him and all the great memories we had together, I took a plunge and installed Doom Builder in order to polish up his map and add a few modern amenities, just for convenience sake. I haven't touched an editor in 15 years, so it was quite a surprise to find out how easy mapping has become. I may have gotten a little carried away with these new UDMF features, and as such, the map is designed for GZ Doom." And then they just describe this is their rundown of it. Doom 2, GZ Doom hardware renderer. One map, not much of a challenge, and roughly 10 minutes of gameplay time. All difficulty settings implemented. Jumping and crouching disabled. Free look is fine. Lots of Doom cute. So that's sort of their like rundown of what myhouse.wad is. That is all a complete lie. As soon as you play it, you find out what it really is, and it's truly excellent. But it does feel like it is very important for that this post is a real like tribute to this person's friend. Like that feels very important to the sort of lore of what My House is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to. Again, it's one of those games that's really hard to talk about without spoiling. So it's like I don't want to get too much into it, but it's something I very personally resonated with. And I think I think you should give it a shot. Give it a download. Look for it on the doomworld.com forum. It says roughly 10 minutes of playtime, and that's partially true if you exit the map the first chance you get. But maybe don't exit it so soon. And see and explore around. Take your time, see where things go. You might be pretty pleasantly surprised. But yeah, that's that. Go check out myhouse.wad. It's truly excellent. Great. As something that is like a Doom map, it's hard to like recommend as a game. But it is definitely like a fully enclosed game, like with its own narrative. It does take place in Doom. There are monsters for you to shoot, but I think what it manages to do with Doom as a like storytelling device is so interesting. Check it out if you can. Other than that, the only major thing I've been playing is the Resident Evil 4 remake, which I have a ton of thoughts on. As I understand, neither of you have played this because you were too scared.
Correct.
No, I never played a Resident Evil. Too scary.
Well, Resident Evil 4, the original, in my opinion, is not a particularly scary game.
Are you kidding me? I saw the bit about the boat when I was a kid, and I'm like, oh man, oh.
It's true. A guy with a chainsaw can come up, chop your entire head off.
Again, I am a jittery person. I respect horror for what it is. I respect the fact that Resident Evil doesn't hide the fact that it definitely leans into the campiness that horror can lend itself to. That's all good and fun. If there is a jump scare, it will get me, and I'll hate myself for it.
I think this game, the remake specifically, has substantially less scary moments than the original, even. And the original is not even a particularly scary. And I am sorry, it's too scary. I'll give credit where it's due. Resident Evil 2 remake. I think if you played that, you'd be freaking jumping out of your dang britches, because that's got some spooky stuff in it. The Resident Evil 4 is way more an action game than anything else. Both versions of it, and it's not too long ago, I wrote a Twitter thread when the demo came out about the gameplay of it, and I did not particularly enjoy it that much. And I mentioned that because my feelings on it have not changed that much. I'll say when I initially wrote it, I maybe came down a little too negative, because it's the kind of thing where it's I view Resident Evil 4 as a landmark game for not only third-person shooters, but third-person action games, because it is a game that has such a tight formula, and it works so incredibly well, way better than it should, especially for a Resident Evil game, which previous to this were fixed camera angle tank control games that the combat in them was a means to an end. It was not the point of the game, where Resident Evil 4 comes in and it's some of the tightest gameplay that's ever been made. And the sort of problem with remaking that is any version of this game that you make now has to be put up against the literal tightest gameplay ever made. And I think it succeeds in a lot of places, but I think it also fails in some pretty substantial ones. I don't know. I say all this, but at the same time, I am still enjoying it. I think there are a lot of really good things about this remake, but all the parts about it that I don't stick out so fucking much. Let me just get it out of the way real quick. My first initial criticism was hey, the durability on the knife is really sad, considering the knife in the original RE4 is integral to the way you play that game. It is your close range option. It is a get these people the fuck off me option. It is deeply important that the knife is there and readily available at all times. So the fact that your knife could break is but there's one element of it where it's oh, that's potentially very interesting, because then your options with the knife become way more limited, and they add so many different things that the knife is for. You can use the knife to get out of grabs. You can use the knife to execute people. You can do stealth attacks in this now for some reason, which is really not an element of the original Resident Evil 4 at all. But all of that costs durability, and I am a proponent I believe in durability. I love durability in games. I think durability can work very well as a thematic reference for games like Fallout or anything where the themes have to deal with like enmity and like, you know, slow decay over time. You know, like criticize the durability in the Souls games all you want, but it's like it's there for a reason, and I think it makes sense. It doesn't really make that much sense in Bloodborne, where it's still there. It's sort of like a legacy mechanic, but whatever. I think it works really great in Breath of the Wild. People don't like it in Breath of the Wild for some reason. I think that's one of the things that makes that game so deeply interesting, is the fact that you're getting so many different weapons and collecting them and like using them at big moments. It works very well in my humble opinion. Which I bring all this up to say that I think durability on the knife is one of the stupidest things they've ever done. Because while I understand the need to sort of rein in the things you can do with it and give it like a sort of set limit, it also doesn't matter at all. Because your knife, unless you're getting like grabbed repeatedly and you need to use like grab breaks constantly, which is the thing that drains the knife the most, your knife is going to hold up between encounters. And usually if it does break or it's in bad condition after an encounter, you have plenty of space to just go and run back to the merchant and get it fixed. So the durability on it kind of just means nothing. It's super disappointing that this system is even here. I don't understand why, when the knife is such a crucial part of your kit in this game and in the original, but for like different reasons. Like in this game, you have a parry, and your parry is with the knife. So you like, obviously that's going to do some durability to it too. And if your knife breaks, that means you don't have parries. But then it's like, okay, well, I don't have parries, so like I'm kind of just going to take damage now. It's like it's very silly. The entire thing feels so strange in that like it's not really properly balanced. Like if your knife breaks, you will most likely like within a little bit find an extra knife. Like they have kitchen knives and like boot knives you can pick up off enemies, which they can be used for crafting, but they can also be used in case like your primary knife is broken or is not available. Or if you just like don't want to worry about durability on that for a while, you can just switch to a side knife. And those aren't as strong as your knife, but they serve as like adequate placeholder while your main is sort of unavailable. So adding these extra knives, which can randomly drop from enemies, and it does the same thing Resident Evil 4, the original did, where if you're short on any resource, you are likely going to get it as a drop from an enemy. So the durability on the knife feels especially weird, considering if it breaks, I'm just going to get another one. Like, I just don't understand why this system is here. And I feel like it really drastically takes away from what it worked so well in the original. Was here's your get out of jail move. Here's your move that sets up for melee attacks, which are very useful as like crowd clearing things.
Well, it's one of those things that sounds like it interrupts the gameplay.
It does, but like not substantially enough for it to be meaningful. Because like I said before, like if it breaks, you can just go and get another one. If it breaks, you can go get it repaired very easily. Like it's just like I don't understand what they were trying to accomplish with it, and they probably would have been better served not having that system in there at all. Like, is it the fact that it's also that it's a money sink, but you don't really need money sinks in this game because you're not making all the money that you do make is mostly going towards like buying upgrades and buying new guns as they come. So, like, what's the point of having a money sink? Like everything is like already way too expensive. I don't know why you have another resource that costs stuff. And like because you can upgrade your knife, not only can you like upgrade the durability as such that like it even breaking is like such a rarity. But also, like, when you upgrade it, it costs more to repair. And because, and one of the things that you can upgrade is your knife damage. So, like, if I'm mainly using the knife as a utility, I'm using it for parries, I'm using it for, like, executions, and I'm using it to, like, break grabs, then why would I ever upgrade the damage on it if it's just going to cost me more in the long run to constantly repair this thing? It is such a silly system. Like, I just don't understand, like, why it was balanced this way. It doesn't feel like there's any sort of, like, material or thematic reward for how it's implemented. And that's sort of, I bring all that up because it's like, it's sort of endemic to the larger problems, I think, of the remake, is that there's a bunch of like weird, tedious things about it I don't really enjoy. Which, again, I have to restate, I am playing and actively enjoying this game, and there are things I do like about it. So please understand that the criticisms that I make come from love. I'm a person who has 100%ed the original Resident Evil 4 multiple times. Like, just because it's fun, it was fun for me. Like, I've completed all of Mercenaries multiple times. Do not step to me on this. This is my wheelhouse. But yeah, so there's also a quality to the combat that feels like it doesn't quite, like, fit the same formula as the original Resident Evil, which on its own is not necessarily a bad thing, but there's a sort of stickiness and a slowness to it that makes it feel really bad compared to the original, which is very snappy, and everything about it works. Like, everything about it works. Everything about it flows super well. Like, the reason there's not a quick swap in that game is because A, they didn't invent it yet, and B, because you're supposed to go into your menu and equip the weapon, and that would reduce the friction. That would reduce the friction between, like, needing to put away a gun and pulling out a gun. Like, you don't need to worry about that anymore. The pulling out the gun is sort of endemic to it. It's easy. Like, you don't have to think about that. Mm-hmm. Now, because there is a quick swap, pulling out a weapon becomes a moment which you are not attacking or moving or dodging. And that is an important thing to, like, keep in mind. And, like, I think it's largely fine, but it's like, it really helps. It really slows the pace down, in the same way that, like, there's a lot. Leon in this is way more sluggish than he is in the original Resident Evil 4, which is a game built off the Resident Evil engine, like, which is not, like, a particularly fast one, at all. So the fact that it is, like, even slower is, like, it just doesn't feel right, you know? There's a lot of tiny bits about it that just make it feel off. Like, one of the things that I think is really crucial to the original Resident Evil 4 is every weapon has a laser sight on it. There is, like, weapon sway, and, like, your sight can move off of it, like, off of your target, and you need to, like, line things up. But with the laser sight, you know, no matter if your weapon is swaying or not, you know exactly where your bullet is going to go, which is so crucial. And Resident Evil 4 removes the laser sight from every weapon. It is an optional, like, upgrade you can get for some weapons, not all of them. Which is mind-bending, because I have a broken butterfly, which is the magnum that you get, the first of the two magnums that you get, which is a very strong weapon. But it's very inaccurate, which is so fucking annoying, because you so scarcely get magnum ammo. Your opportunities to use it are so limited. So let me take, for example, a fight I was doing not that long ago. I was fighting some of the blind enemies, the like big hulking blind guys with huge like Wolverine claws. Their whole thing is that they can't see you, but they react to sound. So like you can trick them by making a sound somewhere else in an arena, or making a sound near an enemy, so they go up and run up and attack that enemy instead. But also they're like constantly jittering around and moving, and their weak spot on their back is like small. So if I pull my broken butterfly out, I pull my big magnum out, and I have like one quick moment to make the shot, because I am right behind him. I have one chance to do it. My reticle is exactly where it needs to be. It's lined up with the weak spot. I take the shot and it just misses, because there is an amount of like weapon sway to it that is unaccounted for. Is so annoying. Like, this is a problem that was solved in the original that you have like created in the remake. And it's like, I don't mind like weapons that are inaccurate, but when it's a weapon that is like strictly supposed to be your, okay, this is it, make your shot count weapon, it's fucking mind-boggling when I have to fire like when I have to take my one shot and it misses because of something that I didn't do wrong. I just don't understand why the game is sort of designed in that way, when in the original it was like they had a solution to this. It's so strange. It's so strange. Like, there's so many little aspects about Resident Evil 4 that the remake here that I think are really weird. So neither of you have played Resident Evil 4. Are you at least familiar with the fact that you have to like sort your briefcase in that game?
Oh, like how things take up space?
Yes.
Like, yeah, I've seen that, yes.
Yeah, there's an attaché case. You need to move everything in such a way that's like, okay, I get the weapons where I need them to be, so they're close to where I need to be. So when I go into my menu to swap to them, it's really quick. I have enough space to pick up items. I move everything so it's all neat and orderly. The sort of function of that in the original Resident Evil, because Resident Evil 4 is it's a very linear game. And you're essentially going from one like action sequence to another, like one after another. There's definitely bits of like exploration and puzzle solving and stuff, but basically you sorting your briefcase is very snappy. It feels really good to do it, and it's also your sort of like means of decompressing in between like combat scenarios.
Okay.
In the Resident Evil 4 remake, they added a button that auto sorts it. And I fucking hate that that's there. Like I understand why it's there. I think it's like probably a net positive that it is. I use it all the time. It's a shame for me to admit that, but I do, because with with there being no necessity to doing like to sorting, like I can still sort if I want to sort, but there's no need to anymore. There's an auto sort. I can just not even think about it. And this is sort of compounded by the fact that Resident Evil 4 originally being like a very linear game with not a lot of like paths for you to veer off on, this remake is a lot more open. Like it tries to make the bespoke areas that you can go back to and revisit and like, you know, find extra treasure that you missed the first time, or that like this game has side quests in it. The original Resident Evil 4 does not. Like, like it gives you an option to go back to areas you hadn't before, just to like, you know, do some extra content, which some of them are totally fine in the sense of like, you know, here's a new fresh encounter with like a different setup of enemies than were there before. and it's trying something new and different. And when it does that, I think it's totally fine. Some of them are just go and kill some rats for me, quite literally. Like
how classic.
Like literally go kill some rats. Go shoot some medals. There's one side quest in the original RE4, which is go shoot some medals, and when you do it, you get a free gun. And that's it, and it never happens again. And it all happens on the main linear path. This remake saw that and was like, what if we turn this into a whole system? And I find it very tedious because you're now, like, instead of your decompression method being, like, going into your briefcase and sorting things around as your way to, like, you know, take a breather away from combat, now it's, okay, why don't I just go back to the places I was before, run around and go and grab some treasure, do side quests and stuff. And I think that's so much less interesting. I think that's, like, a severe downgrade from what it was before. The fact that there's just like an auto sort button now, it feels like a necessity for this game, but it's like, man, you took away what was one of the most interesting aspects of the way the inventory works and the decompression model, to replace it with the most generic hackneyed kind of approach the thing literally every other game does. And it bothers me so much. It's like, man, there are a lot of bad remakes out there. I don't think Resident Evil 4 Remake is a bad remake. I think a lot of the stuff I really like about it are like the changes that it like makes to the story. It's very faithful, but it does some like really clever subversions. It's the same series of events, but they twist things in interesting ways. But that level of subversion is like, it's very like, the way they handle it in other scenarios is very silly, because it's like the way they handle their approach to level design is, okay, here's the same level from the original, but this time you're coming in it from the opposite direction. And that's like most of the different areas that you go through like the main path of the game. It's just, you go to the same place you remember from the original, except you're just going to get it backwards. It's so silly. Yeah, there are a lot of remakes I really dislike. I think the Resident Evil 2 remake, which I also started replaying before this came out. It is like the original Resident Evil 2 is a game I really love. And it's also like very fundamentally different from the Resident Evil 2 remake, because that is a fixed camera angle tank control game that was remade into a like survival horror third person shooter. Like that, fundamentally the methods of control are very different. But it manages to take the very interesting, like, it manages to take like the very unique aspects of Resident Evil 2 and recontextualize them in a way that like that really works it within like a new format. And the Resident Evil 4 remake is trying to take a third person shooter and remaking it into a third person shooter.
Right.
And that's like sort of the inherent problem to it. Like it's not even that it's like not faithful to Resident Evil 4. I think it's like extremely faithful. It is not like I really hate the Resident Evil 3 remake. I really hate Demon Souls remake, because those are both games that feel like, hey, here's a game like that is like classic, beloved by people. Let's just kind of like shit all over it and do our own thing. Like the people who made Resident Evil 4 remake are clearly trying. They love Resident Evil 4. They want you to like see this game. See, like they really have created at times a convincing simulacrum of Resident Evil 4. And they managed to do their own unique things with it, which are pretty cool. But it's like, I think of things like the Final Fantasy VII remake and the RE2 remake, which are both games that like take their initial subject and do interesting and unique things with it. Like, say what you will about the ending of FF7 remake, and I have a very, very strongly. I am in the camp of I didn't like it that much, but I still respect. I still loved like 90% of that game, and I still deeply respect that they tried to take a very unique and original approach with it. And that's not really what RE4 Remake is doing. Like, I would like it. I think I would appreciate it more if they were trying to do like something unique with Resident Evil 4 as a property. I'm not totally through with it yet. I'm about like 60% of the way through. I'm towards the end of the castle, which is the like second main area before the final one. I'm about to do the final boss fight on that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, but in terms of like major story beats, it all still is the same, and you're still going through the same places, and you're doing the same things, like just with a bit of a twist on each.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I really kind of wish it did go for something a little bit different. Like, it's a strange sort of product. If they do other remakes like this in the future, I hope they reevaluate the way they do it and like don't just go for this sort of like wishy-washy, well, this is our modern take on the original thing, and try to like come up with a real concise vision for it. But I don't think they're going to do that, because that's not what sells video games.
Right.
Like they need to sell a video game with Resident Evil 4 on the cover and say this is Resident Evil 4, because Resident Evil 4 is a game that has sold more. I don't think it's like the best selling game of all time, but it's definitely the most sold. It's definitely, you can buy it literally anywhere. And I think that's the other sort of like important factor to this, is like, you can still play Resident Evil 4. Like, it's not overwriting Resident Evil 4.
Mm-hmm,
it's not, it is not like the Demon Souls remake where, like, you know, Demon Souls is now stuck on a console like that is, it's stuck on the PS3. You can emulate it, and that's like the version you really should play if you're trying to play Demon Souls now. But it's like, it's still difficult to do. And if you wanted to just go and play the original on PS3, it lacks all of the online features. Like, they just strip the online out entirely, which is a very crucial aspect to Demon Souls.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, they made Demon Souls remake with the desire to replace Demon Souls, and that's simply not a factor when it comes to RE4 remake. So it's like, the existence of RE4 remake does not like offend me. I like, again, I am liking it. I'm playing it. I am enjoying it. I will probably like have positive things to say about it when I am finished. We'll see. But it's, again, at the same time, the fact that it is not overriding the original Resident Evil 4 is a net positive. They will still keep re-releasing Resident Evil 4 on every platform, I'm sure. It's just they'll have a second version to do as well. Yeah, that's like pretty much most of my Resident Evil 4 thoughts. I think it's weird. It's weird. I'm not sure why they did half the things that they did with this game. Yeah. Mav, are you still with us?
Does the merchant say, what are you buying? What are you selling?
He does. In fact, that's another fucking... Oh, okay. So I think the voice actor who does the merchant does a great job. Like, the lines that he has, like, he redoes the old lines really well. The new lines that he records, they recorded clearly very good, very well handled. Good take on the merchant. They programmed his screen, like his store screen, in such a way that he won't shut the fuck up. Like, he has to comment on every single thing that you highlight, and he repeats his lines every single time.
Oh, that's so good.
Oh, it's so bad. It's horrible. I hate it. I hate hearing it. Like,
well, you know, we can't always have a right opinion, Scott.
No, trust me. If you saw it, you'd get fucking frustrated. It's so, like...
I simply would not.
I love hearing, what are you buying? What are you selling? Like he does those great. The lines are good. I like the lines. It's just the fact that it's
too much of a good thing.
It's literally every single time you highlight something, he says something different, and you've heard him say that like 50 times already. It's frustrating. Okay. It's frustrating. Whatever.
Is
Mav? No, hit me.
Is Kenny Omega in this one?
I haven't finished it yet, so I can't tell you, but
it's going to be important to see. If he's not, 0 out of 10.
So far, he hasn't made an appearance. Mav, how was your nap?
Yeah. Thanks, I'm glad I'm back. I only missed, the entirety of the RE4 segment?
Well, talk to me about a different R4 game, Ridge Racer Type 4.
Excellent.
He's the one for me. He does everything I need. Ridge Racer. No, found out the Ridge Racer Type 4 got put on the classics library for PlayStation Plus.
Uh-huh.
So naturally, I upgraded my PS Plus because I'm like, shit, I want to play Ridge Racer. I haven't played Ridge Racer at all. That's a really good game. The core conceit of it is that Ridge Racer is sort of like the flagship, I would say, racing series for PlayStation prior to like Gran Turismo, really. Sort of like the key arcade racer of sorts. Whole lot of entries to them, but like basically you have a Grand Prix, and there are various like makes and like levels of difficulty that are available to you to get through each Grand Prix, but they all boil down to the same courses, the same breakdown of like, for these two races you got to place in top 3, these two races top 2, and the last like heat of it you got to win first every time. And that's like coming from at least, really just getting to know the courses in each like interpolation, and in every difficulty you're essentially racing for a different like racing club, and they're all based, since this is a Namco game, they're all based off different properties from like other Namco titles. So there's like the Pac-Man Racing Club, the Mappy Racing Club, the trying to remember the other one, like there's a Dig Dug one. I think there might be a Galaga one. It's all cute little tongue-in-cheek stuff, and each one has like their own little narrative where it's like, I'm the new president of the company, and I'm a girl. My dad hates it, and I'm gonna get married off unless you can win these races. Can you win those races for me, buddy boy? And then you just keep going through like it. I am sure that it like in the time of the 90s where everything is sort of like borrowing inspiration, so to say, from a lot of visual novels. Like, here's the one where, okay, place not first. It'll be like, oh, God, I wish that you still got first place, but I guess that'll work for me. If you get first, it'll be like, all right, maybe that was a fluke, but we'll see how you're doing. And then, of course, if you lose, it'll just be like, what the fuck are you doing here? The game likes to be a hard ass on you, but it also is just it plays like a beauty. Like, it really focuses on the maneuverability and just like turning corners in a way I haven't really had to think about a lot in modern racing games. Part of it like being that like I have yet to mess around with the drift like component of cars, because like that would probably require more of a manual transition, and that is a entire like dedication where the controls literally do break down to like, here's the button for accelerating, the button for braking, here are the like L1 and R1 to basically shift gears if you do manual, and then it starts you in first person, like, and will not tell you that there is That triangle is the button to like change perspective, but you can figure that out, and then that'll sort of help you like get oriented as well. Dog, I had to get this one for the music. I literally paid $45 to upgrade PS Plus because I needed the Ridge Racer music.
What else would you spend that money on?
Nothing.
Exactly.
So good. Like, there has never... There's a reason JPEG Mafia sampled it for Bald. Because it fucking goes hard as hell. It's a fun game. It's a nice little distraction while I'm figuring everything else out. And yeah, it looks like shit on my TV. I appreciate it. Because it's trying to, like, figure out like, not going full widescreen, but, like, even in just the, like, letterboxing that it has, like, it's not small enough for the FMVs. And, like, the text just feels like it's still blown up in a way that just looks like ass. But I don't mind it. Like, ultimately, this is a game that lives and breathes on, like, a CRT or, like, early digital, which I know a guy that could probably get me a CRT, but then I would also need to get a PS1.
Yeah.
Which, I that feels like an inevitability, but that also feels like a thing for when I actively have the space for it. So this is at least a nice, a nice equivalent, so to say.
Word.
Yeah.
And have you been checking anything else out on that big old PS Plus?
Not yet. There are a lot of things I'd want to figure out and like eventually get to, but Ridge Racer was the immediate one where I'm just like, oh my god, I need this.
I respect it.
Because then, like, outside of the classics category, there is also just a regular rotating game library, which recently had a game that I was recommended to try out. I want to say, I'm trying to remember what the name is, but it is the game that where you are essentially, Tchia.
Tchia, yes. I remember this.
Yeah. The game where you were essentially sort of like exploring a fictional archipelago inspired by New Caledonia, a island off in the oceanic area.
Right.
I hear a lot of good things, so that is available to me now. I just got to actually get through it and see what's going on.
Yeah, would love to hear you report back on that.
We'll see. Well, as soon as I'm done being part of the Shinsengumi, a lot of things will open up.
Franny, I see you put Destiny Lightfall on here. Do you have any like thoughts on this you want to share briefly?
I can be brief. Okay.
How much Lightfall talk have we had? I don't know if we've had any of our Destiny heads on the pod yet.
I know Spencer and Rose were on. I don't know. I think they probably talked about Lightfall.
Yeah, probably.
I'll preface this by saying I'm not like a numbers guy, so I don't really like the systems. It's like, all right, those are over there. The thing that I like to talk about in terms of Destiny is like the story. Story, environment, shit like that. I just feel like there's a real kind of awkward tonal shift between, say, like Witch Queen, their last kind of big expansion, and this one. And the story in this one feels kind of rushed, kind of weirdly paced. There's like a guy that dies 2 hours in and they play it off like it's really emotional, and I was like, I don't know him.
Right.
Who cares? That
happened.
And like, there are things that could have been separated into maybe like some sort of chapter situation. It almost feels like maybe this was part of a bigger game, but they kind of reorganized things, and that's fine. It's all going to be a matter of like subjective quality. And like,
yeah, and isn't it the sort of thing where it's like they're gonna keep releasing new content, sort of like as the season goes on?
They will, and like the teams that do the seasonal content, or the team, I guess, that does the seasonal content, I believe, is different from the team that does expansion content.
Probably.
So, like, the vibe and the quality and stuff are going to be different there. The seasonal stuff has been very good. And the expansion, it happens and it's kind of over. The new location feels a little empty to me. It's just a little weird. There's like, I don't know, just like, it's supposed to be like a big kind of cyber city. There was this like, this feeling that you could like swing around with your strand abilities and whatever. And a lot of it is just like really, like just neon lights that don't have much of a point other than kind of like, which neon lights are perfect.
Looking cool.
Yeah, neon lights are perfect for aesthetic. I'm not saying that's not appropriate, but it's not done in such a way where I'm like, this is fine. And it just kind of feels a little empty. I don't know, there's just something weird about it. Maybe it just is a vibe with me specifically, and that's okay. One of the characters is very annoying, and this is a very subjective topic, and it's mostly just like not the personality of the character themselves, but like the way it's written is it makes me feel like, you know, we gotta stop hiring people who really liked Buffy the Vampire Slayer and have spent like their whole life just trying to rewrite Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And that it just doesn't do anything for me. But the new raid is very fun, if like easier than you would expect. It was interesting. There's like a contest mode where you know, you beat it within like the first 48 hours or something. Different from the world first race. And
interesting.
Like, aside from the re-released old raids, the number of people who completed the raid during the contest mode total is at or more than like all the completions from all of the raids previously put together. So there's like this weird difficulty curve where like things that don't need to be so difficult are like fucking impossible, and then like the new raid is like, it's fine. The mechanics are fun. A lot of just the enemies strewn about are like really easy. But it's fun to do, which is nice. The lore of it is pretty interesting. I get the feeling like they brought this character Nezarek back just because he got like kind of popular. Like they didn't mean to develop him as much as they did. And then they brought him in and they're like, okay, we're going to have him be like really quirky and a little horny, and then you're going to kill him. And it's like, all right, that's fine. But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, Lightfall, did I like the story? I didn't, to be honest. And I don't know what it added. I do know what it added, but it's like if you took the beginning cutscene, say, and then like one of the missions, and then like the ending cutscene, it'd be pretty much the same impact.
That's sort of how a lot of those Destiny DLCs have gone. It's just like, here's a couple story missions, and then you're done, and then just hope the rest of the content satisfies you, and they're always like $40 or more, and so it feels so offensive to me. It
is interesting. I was hard on Witch Queen, like when we were doing like Game of the Year stuff. I was hard on Witch Queen, but comparatively, I missed that. I feel like that was kind of a high point. The seasons right before that were like a high point, and then here is like an expansion that was, at least in itself, there were still things hanging, plot holes, whatever. But like in itself, it gave you like the mystery. It solved the fucking mystery, and it left a few things open that were like appropriate to keep open for future seasons. Although we haven't seen those things yet. But Lightfall is like, you go, you do some stuff, and then you lose. And the guy dies, and it's like, who gives a shit? And then you're just kind of hanging out afterwards, which is fine. Neomuna is like, it's acceptable. They've got a few cute little secrets in there. But I don't know, just something feels so weird about it, but it's kind of like over now. So it's like, what are they going to do to develop it, or are they going to keep it kind of like just a place where something happened before, like they did with Witch Queen in like the new area, and just keep going with the seasons, which is pretty standard at this point. I still wonder, like, kind of what's going on, just because like the quality of the writing was so different. Characters who were previously in like other seasons are being written in like a really weird way now. Just like obvious things too, like a lot of cliches, a lot of stuff in Lightfall, the campaign, where they were like, we wanted to make it like you were in an action movie. And it's like, it did kind of, especially with the weird, like, Rocky-esque montage, I guess. But is this the most appropriate place to put, like, an action movie? Like, a silly kind of action movie? Like, right in the middle, just, like, sandwiched between, like, this really high-stakes, like, cosmic fucked-up battle? I don't know. It felt just like it was like interrupting that. Yeah. And a lot of things where it's like, how could we have known about this? How could they have known about this? Meanwhile, and I don't really want to bring this up too hard because it's like the one thing that everybody brings up, but like the thing we're going to, the thing we're trying to protect is like never explained to us. And that's fine. I don't need it to be explained to me because I can accept like, you know, nebulous.
It's the source of all the power, you know?
And it's like, I can accept that. It's like a space thing. Space things are mysterious. But it's just weird, and I don't know. It was just very weird. We spent a lot of the campaign just like, my friend and I just like, okay, just like trying to get through it. And I feel like if you didn't play Lightfall, be like, okay, you would still kind of get it.
That's sort of the little Destiny experience.
It's gotten weird, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. But you know, otherwise it's pretty much the same game. They've improved some systems. They've kind of made things less of a slog, which is nice. So I mean, I'm still playing it. But it's just interesting to kind of see and I mean, I've had this before too with like World of Warcraft, where it's like quality of writing for this expansion is like, whoa, and then it's like down here in the toilet a little bit, personally. And you just want to know what goes on in the background. Hopefully the final shape will like be a tone that makes more sense. And I mean, there are people who fucking loved Lightfall, and I love that for them. I love that for them. But I just, like, no shade at all, but I don't know. It wasn't hitting for me. And I love, like, the lore, the story, and it's just frustrating to either see it, like, come to a crawl, like I was feeling in the last few seasons before Lightfall, and then Lightfall, which seemed to be such a lower quality of, like, storytelling. Like, just straight up things that happen, the order that they happen in, the emotional beats they're trying to deliver. But also, you know, I could just lower my standards a little bit and just play the shooty gun game.
Seems like what a lot of Destiny players have needed to do. You have a game on here called Season, I believe?
Yeah.
Tell me about Season. Okay. Give me the quickie on Season.
Okay, the full title is Season: A Letter to the Future.
Okay.
This, I already know. This is probably going to be one of my games of the year for, like, this year.
Let's fucking go.
It's so nice. You play this young woman who lives in, like, a really isolated village. And she's like, what if I go out, take some photos, take some recordings, just see what's out there? because there was like a big war, that sort of thing. Certain places became isolated, certain places not so much. And so there was just like a big shift in how everybody lived their life. And so she's like, what if I go out and just document it for us, for everyone, for the future, that sort of thing. And so you embark on like this journey. You're on a bicycle. You just like bike around this like open world that's got your town that's like kind of on the top of a column. So you go down into the valley, you go through like some oil rig fields, you go deeper into a valley, into some forests. There's not a lot of characters in the game, and fewer that you can actually interact with. A lot of it is just kind of seeing these little towns, these homes, these sites where things have happened, and like either finding things, finding graffiti, finding flyers, picking up items, recordings, and you're just basically going around documenting things. Like I said, you can take recordings, you have a camera, you find clippings and photos, and people give you things, and you make a scrapbook, and so you can like move things, and then it'll unlock things like little pieces of tape and stickers and stuff like that, which like is it for me pretty much. I fucking love that kind of stuff. So
hell yeah.
So you like what else? It's absolutely beautiful. It's like extremely vibrant, cell shaded. Everything is so flowy and like it's got hard edges. And the character designs are really interesting too. It's a little bit like caricature. Like all these characters look very different from one another to kind of elaborate visually on their personalities and what the game is trying to tell you about them. Like vastly different from one another. There's like a family who recently lost their husband/father, and so they're preparing to move, and you help them decide what is important, kind of based on the descriptions they give you of these different items. There's an older woman who makes crazy art in like the dark woods, and she's just kind of there to like they're trying to there's this government entity, they're trying to like flood the valley, and there's an aspect of memory to it to where all the people who are in this valley are going to lose their memory. There's a couple gods that have to do with memory, sleep, that sort of thing. You visit their shrines, and there's an old woman, the old artist in the forest, who is just standing her ground, kind of, and just, like, staying there. And I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling now a bit, just because there's, like, so much to it, and it's so atmospheric. It's, like, it's so calming to play. It's so, like, empathetic and just, like, beautiful. It made me want to, like, go out and make, like, a scrapbook of my own town, that sort of thing. It's hard to describe, but it's so comforting.
It gets the hard Franny recommendation.
It does. It's hard to describe. It's got, like, it's hard to describe the story, too. It's built from, like, a lot of different types of what feels like maybe like cultural prompts into like a kind of a really fleshed out fantasy world. No magic, but like fantasy world, except for flowers that grow at like places where things happen. So you can find like flowers at a grave, and there's like somebody's last words that the flower is like echoing back to you. And there's like a whole field of those at one point, and that scene is really striking. And there's, like, animals that you've never seen before that you take recordings of, that you can draw. There's just so much to it that is so, like, just a bunch of little soothing things. It's very much about just riding around, getting invested in this little world, and trying to record it as best as you can, with kind of this overarching theme of, like, passing information on to the future, not only because the people in this world lose their memory, kind of as a thing that happens every once in a while, like collectively. So, keeping the story alive for the people who lose their memory. And also just keeping, like, a record of how things used to be for the people in the future who live in, like, a vastly different world. Which I always appreciate when things like that kind of focus on, like, history of places, even if the place is fictional.
Right.
So it's kind of hard to describe, but it's so beautiful, and it's so soothing, and if that sounds like something... Also, if you like to scrapbook at all, if you like that sort of thing, it's got a lot of that. It's kind of the whole point. There's a lot of really poignant moments, really, like, sad moments. Yeah, I'm rambling. Just play it. Like the other game, okay. Just play it. Yeah. It's
hard for any recommendation.
Really perfect. It's really perfect to me. Hard recommendation.
Are we ready to move on to the news?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's go to the news. We got news. We got some quick hits here. Real quick, off the dome. Gollum Game, May 25th. Hashtag Gollum Game, I must say. We have a date. It's coming.
Every time.
Finally, you will get to be a little man skittering around. Hashtag Gollum Game.
We have the game of the year for 2023. We always, like, skirt around it, but, like, this is the definitive video game Choo Choo game of the year right here.
One of us to play this.
Here's the problem is, like, every time there's a game that I, like, get so attached to that I have to make tons of jokes about, I never wind up playing it. No. I did the same exact thing with Days Gone.
Yeah.
And it's like, for the life of me, I cannot see myself playing hashtag Gollum Game and enjoying it, but...
I can't play it every time something comes out. Every time I get reminded that the Gollum Game exists, I realize I have erased all prior information about the Gollum Game from my mind. So every time I see anything, I'm like, oh my god, that's right.
Oh yeah, hashtag Gollum Game. It's coming. Now, like, the same thing happened to me with Stranger of Paradise. It's like, oh yeah, that game probably up my alley. Never fucking touched it. Like,
I didn't even think that was out yet.
It's been out. Like, it came out, like, the beginning of last year.
Oh my god.
Like, before Elden Ring.
Yeah, no, it's funny that, like, it dodged any and all discussion just because, like, I think Rose and Lorelai kind of just forgot about it.
Yeah. Lorelai didn't like it as much as Neo 2, which, fair. Yeah. Ubisoft has developed an AI writing tool called Ghostwriter that they claim hopes to mitigate and optimize some workload off their writers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is pretty interesting. So Ubisoft has an issue with creating worlds, like, full of a bunch of NPCs, and then, like, they have to have writers write things for them and then have voice actors voice those things. So they've sort of come up with an AI solution to, like, just sort of do that for them, which there's a lot of hesitancy around AI, like AI stuff in general, especially in creative spaces, because, like, there's an overwhelming fear that this is going to replace creatives. And I think it works. Like, we talked about it a bit, like between us, but, like, I think this is definitely a situation where, like, oh yeah, no, implementing AI stuff here seems really smart, because it's like, are you gonna have people fucking writing and voicing this stuff during, like, the fucking third, fourth week of crunch, like, just because you need NPCs to say something so they're not repeating the same line over and over again? Like, right. This seems like a thing that would genuinely, like, save a lot of people a lot of time and a lot of work and frustration. So it's like, you know, it's something that has, like, a very justifiable cause for concern. Like, Ubisoft does not have a great track record with their treatment of employees, but it's, like, as far as like a use case goes for things in games, like this is something that could probably be really good for a very specific type of game. If people try to implement it in games that aren't like, you know, CD Projekt or Cyberpunk 2077, like where there's just a shitload of NPCs just walking all over the place, like those types of games, like fucking Watch Dogs had the entire system where like random NPCs would just have a full profile for them, completely randomly generated, and this is sort of like an extension of that, basically. Which, you know, that worked and also didn't work in a lot of ways. But you know, the verdict is kind of out on whether or not it's like a net positive. I think it'll work very well for a specific type of game. I think some people are going to try and use it for different types of games, and I think it will be much worse there. If you will try to use it to write the like main narrative of a video game, that's a problem.
Well, we're gonna see if, like, as it's advertised on the box for this, is like fine, it's appropriate, but let's see if it grows out of control.
Yeah, it's the right situation. Like, it's the right situation for where like AI should be implemented.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that like I Wayne Radio TV and Radio TV Solutions are the perfect like encapsulation of like there's a lot that you can do with AI, but also it, like the good stuff hinges on the fact that this shit breaks constantly.
Yeah, like it works when it's extremely uncanny because then it becomes funny.
Yeah,
like
yeah, exactly. But it is the ultimate source of comedy.
It's a when
you have
it's recognizing that. Yeah, when you have Scrunt.
When you have Slog.
Yeah, it's recognizing that it is AI, and like that AI comes with limitations, and like the fucking ghouls who are trying to use it to completely replace like different types of artwork by like, you know, just stealing people's art and like just typing Dune but Ghibli style into a fucking like AI generated like thing. It's fucking maniacal that people think that that's cool. But
it's like the fucking like I still think about the AI generated Seinfeld thing that like people were all the rage over.
I watched that for a while. Like, I really liked it. It was like, oh, this is like a very fun use case for AI where it's like these people, like these like 4 generated characters based off of Seinfeld are doing this stupid skit over and over again. And it's like it's very funny and it works. And like like I bet you, like you were about to say, the people who are behind it are very like AI evangelists, and they went on record as saying, no, we think like this would be like the future of television, of like full 24/7 channels.
Have to have a story. Yeah, like it is such a deranged look at the actual concept of craft, because like ultimately, you know, as someone who creates, you recognize that there is an endpoint, that you are reaching a culmination. And this whole like resurgence of AI in a way is like so adamant to this idea that like I am making a tube that will have a thing happen forever. And it's like, what are you smoking?
It's truly insane. And then like they rebranded it for like a season 2. They removed like any of the Seinfeld elements of it, and it's just like way worse.
Well, yeah, because then they also got in trouble for like what, slurs?
Well, okay, so what happened was so they're like in that original thing they do like Seinfeld doing stand up like he would in the like in the show. And during one of those segments he made like a joke about like trans people, but like the joke itself was clearly like from the perspective of, oh, isn't it like fucking like are all these like comedians who are like making weird like making the butt of trans, like making trans people the butt of their jokes, isn't that like fucking ridiculous and offensive? But like the fact that he said these jokes is like the joke that like the AI was trying to make was like I'm just gonna shit on trans people because that's edgy, and that's like isn't that like fucked up that edgy comedians do it? And like it was delivered in such a way that like it could very easily be misconstrued as I'm shitting on trans people. And because of that, it got removed on Twitch.
The AI. So you're telling me the AI did not generate nuance?
Yeah, I'm gonna go into bat in defense of this because it's it's clear that it's trying to draw from a well of comedy. Like the parts where it tells jokes are like, here are a bunch of jokes, and like I'm gonna like take these jokes and re-say them. And somewhere along the line, it's all like comedians who are making fun of like other comedians telling like ridiculous, just basically using comedy to be like strong anti-trans rhetoric, and it's like, I'm gonna pick one of these jokes and I'm gonna try and say it, and it's like it just didn't work because it's an AI trying to do it.
Yeah, no, that's when that's like me telling a 5-year-old to go spell out this curse word.
It's it was bad. Like they shouldn't have done it. And obviously the creators are at fault there, and then they took the thing down, they scrapped it, they got banned for like a week or something, and they come back with the version 2, which is way more coherent. Like it's way more coherent, and it sucks more because of it. Like the characters are now joking endlessly to each other, but they're all telling like the equivalent of knock knock jokes, and it's so fucking bad. It's terrible. Simultaneously, there's another one of those like 24/7 AI channels that I do actually like. It's one that just does the steamed hams over and over again, and it's an AI, like it's not even like reskitting. It's not even like reskitting like The Simpsons or whatever. It's just they just call him Chalmers. They call him Seymour. He calls his mom Agnes. You know. And the entire conceit is like, these guys are endlessly doing steamed hams over and over and over again, and they're just changing small details of it, and it weirdly works. It's very easy to see the formula after like a few watches of it, but like there are times where it'll just fucking break free from its formula and do something fucking ridiculous. and just like the sort of like broken nature of the AI voices just makes them sound so tired, almost like they're just living this nightmare day over and over and over again. It works surprisingly well. Know nothing about the creators. Don't know if they're weird AI evangelists. Just seeing how it's made as like the cheapest Unity assets that they could, they probably just thought it would be funny. So hopefully, that's just me reading too much into something just based on me seeing it initially. Hopefully, the people behind it just like the joke. But I think like, again, that's a use case for where AI works. We talked way too much about this. Let's move on. I mentioned CD Projekt Red before. CD Projekt Red, though, they have financially written off what is seemingly a Witcher spinoff, which was apparently internally canceled at one point. And then they have rebooted development of it. It's currently called Project Sirius. Take from that what you will. Probably a like Siri-focused spin-off game. They are all.
I think it's going to be a serious game. Yeah,
they're bringing back Serious Sam. They do also have a Witcher 4 currently in development. So this is not that. It's full on a spin-off game. So we'll see. We will see. That it's in the making. They're making Gwent 2. Who knows?
2.
Gwent 2. Next, let's see. Atari acquires Night Dive Studios, the developer behind the current remasters of Quake, Doom 64, and the upcoming System Shock. Sure, why not? Everything I've seen of that System Shock remake looks potentially exciting, if not like a kind of situation where it's like, this is weird. I don't know why you're doing this. Like, I kind of I'm interested in seeing where it goes, but as the sort of like precursor to games like BioShock, I think when people go into it and realize it's like a very different type of game, they're gonna be pretty underwhelmed. Who knows? While no developer has been officially named, a representative at Paramount Global claims a dark, more mature Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game is in the works.
Why not?
The game will be based.
Why not?
The game will be based on The Last Ronin, set in a futuristic world where one of the turtles, the titular 4, has survived and is set with the difficult task of continuing on to finish what must be done.
God of War inspired TMNT.
So the sad dad game where Raphael lived.
Why not?
Valve announces Counterstrike 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's real.
It happened.
I will likely replace Counterstrike Global Initiative as their main Counterstrike game. I don't know why anyone would. I don't know. Counterstrike 2. There it is.
I've got nothing to say about Counterstrike.
Sonic Origins Plus has been announced for several platforms and consoles. That's Sonic Origins Plus. That game had like a weird launch, didn't it? Like people really didn't like it. I actually, my Sonic Origins take is, I saw the like remade versions of the Sonic 2 bonus levels, and I think that game is garbage. Like the fact that they took very iconic low frame rate like animated cells of this big tunnel coming at you and replacing it with like the cheapest looking just full 3D tunnel without even trying to reproduce the same kind of like low frame rate kind of effect is a travesty. Like they have made what is one of the coolest design decisions ever made in a video game and made it way worse.
Doesn't matter. You can play as Amy now.
You can play as Amy.
12 Game Gear titles.
The TTRPG
available to you.
The TTRPGs for Trans Rights in Florida bundle is still available on itch.io. Funds raised through the bundle will go towards organizations responding to the alarming anti-trans legislation. Legislation. I'm going to take that back. Whoever's editing. Here I go. Funds raised through the bundle will go towards organizations responding to the alarming anti-trans legislation in progress in Florida. Let me see what's on the dock here. Yes. Another, we got in visual novel news, we got a pretty big visual novel parody, but it's about doing your taxes. Tax Heaven 3000 is drawing a lot of attention to, it has drawn a lot of attention because it is it's a visual novel that will prepare your taxes for you. And two, a lot of people didn't necessarily like the idea that you could provide a lot of compromising information to a video game, including like, your social security number, your W-2, like, pretty important stuff. Because of that, it's already been removed from both Steam and itch.io. It was created by Brooklyn-based art collective MSCHF, which I don't know if you've checked out their stuff, but like if you look on their website, yeah, this seems like people who would make a dating sim where you can do your tax. Like
they made the Big Red Boots.
Did they? They were the Big Red Boot people?
They made the Big Red Boots.
Oh my god! I was just looking at like their work on their website, and there's stuff like there's a Chick-fil-A thing, but the bag on it says 666. Isn't that fucking cool?
Yeah,
they have chair.
I looked around on the website.
They have chair simulator, collect and sit on 100 plus chairs. It's it's very New York art collective. Like, it makes a lot of sense why these people would make a dating sim that prepares your taxes.
Don't taint my city with them.
No. Look, New York is big. It's vast. It has a whole bunch of different kind of like.
We already have to deal with fucking people saying Catholicism is cool
again.
And like unironically.
I am trying to like paint you in the most like in like the most appropriate like the most like I'm trying to paint you in paint your city at the nicest way possible. Is that it's very big, it's sprawling.
I'll give you an even bigger brush. It's the people that didn't go to art school and the people that did go to art school.
Right. New York is big, it's sprawling. There's a whole bunch of different types of people who create a whole bunch of amazing art there, and then there are people who have way too much money and make Spotting Plutes, a field guide to American billionaires. Isn't that cool?
Like, again, my main thing is like, it's always, we have this joke, we're going to make it a visual novel, we're going to make it explicitly in reference to, like, I don't know, still lingering feels of, like, Japanophilia. I don't really know where to put the needle there, but it's like, it's always in that same tone, and it just gets really tiring at this point, especially because, like, you could do this, but, you know, make it a Doom clone. Make it literally like Skin going to like a CPA office as like a Doom map. Why not?
I got another one for you.
I don't know.
This one is This Foot Does Not Exist. AI generated feet pics.
Oh no.
This is the level of brilliance we're dealing with here from MSCHF.
Call them mischief. They want to be sassy. They want to be fun. They want to be cute.
Mischief. I didn't even put that together. Oh, Jesus shoes. Sneakers with holy water in the sole. Wow.
I hear all this, and it's like, I think about the Conor O'Malley Vessel video game, and that's like leaps and bounds above whatever they'll be able to put out.
When is Endorphin Port coming out?
God, I need Endorphin Port yesterday.
It's
I will.
I don't think I've said this on a podcast before. It's so fucking insane that Endorphin Port, like, the video for that came out like fucking like years before any metaverse stuff started, and it's like pretty much the exact same thing.
He hit the nail on the head so well,
so hard. Oh, here's one. Sacred seltzer, spiked seltzer made with pure holy water.
It's like the stuff I would see in like the gift section of a Kohl's. But like the stuff I would actively groan at versus the stuff I would at least still have fun with, like a cowbell where it says got beer or something. Like, that's still fun. But no, the other thing as well that I'll take on this is like, if people are this pissed off about, you know, a game where it's actually asking for your information, buddy, why do I got to tell the gas company what my social security number is? Why do I got to tell the electricity company what my social security number is? Why do they care?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I need to pay TurboTax and H&R Block hundreds of dollars to take care of this task for me? Because I'm already tired about having to think about it, like, as it is.
There are free file options, not in TurboTax.
There are free file options, but then those are also, to an extent, like, they are also gated by like the amount of income someone makes, and it's like, as I state often through my experience on the podcast, it is weird that me being in like larger points of financial insecurity have also been like maybe the easiest times that I've had like medical access and particular like, you know, supplemental access to like tax filing services or like whatever else. It is so stupid the way that it's like you have to sacrifice one arm to get double the use of the other and not have both immediately available.
I've just sent you a picture. It is Mischief's Big Fruit Loop.
The Big Fruit Loop, I respect.
I like
the Big
Fruit
Fruit Loop.
I kind of like the Big Fruit Loop, actually. Like, the Big Fruit Loop is pretty good. It's just like, their tagline for it, though, is part of an extremely unbalanced breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. Like, that is someone who's been sitting on a joke for ages and is finally getting, like, to get it out there. And I respect that.
And then, of course, at the bottom of their list is the Tax Haven 3000. Wow. Thanks, Mischief.
There's like an X-rated patch on their website.
Okay, I might.
And it literally
give this
is just
shot,
like a
actually.
fanfic.
Oh, they're the people who did the Little Nas X Satan shoes.
They did do that, yeah.
Oh.
All right, let's move on from this trash. Let's see. What haven't I mentioned here from news? Oh, the big one that both of you were very excited about. There's currently a Mario Movie X Lush collab.
I've got a bunch of this stuff in my cart right now. The real question I need answered is, do I get the Mario goo or the Luigi goo? I only want one of them.
I don't know anything about this yet. This is the first I'm hearing about it. All I know is so far, there's Luigi goo, there's Mario goo, and there's Bowser jelly?
Correct.
So you've heard about Lush before, right?
I'm familiar with Lush.
Lush, the company that specifically dealing with
Princess Peach.
Very like very like environmentally friendly, vegan focus, like stuff that smells good, and for the most part, you feel confident in because of the fact that like no one had to be harmed in the process, as far as we can tell. They do a lot to make sure that like the packaging is specific, the product is still like sustainable in a way that like works out. I am definitely an avid Lush user. It's easily become like a brand I comfortably endorse, if only because like it's stuff that smells good, leaves me feeling nice, and is a nice just like entry point for guys to learn more about moisturizing and general skincare that often gets left to the wayside.
Okay, here's my counterpoint. A bar of the gold coin soap costs $8.75.
And I'm getting it. It's in the cart.
I don't think it's a bar. I bet it's like several coins.
It would be like
no,
one,
it's
probably like the size of your palm.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's something here that's throwing me off. Okay, so the description for the Luigi goo says, green, clean, but never mean. This shower gel uses zesty orange oil and uplifting neroli to recreate the crisp scent of Luigi's home, the Big Apple. Is he from?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, they're from Brooklyn, right?
Oh my god, there's lore?
Yeah, canonically in the so the original Super Mario Bros. Movie does take place in Brooklyn.
What? Oh my god, this is about the movie. Got it.
Yeah, this is a Mario movie collab.
Yeah.
And for the new movie, they have made it clear that Mario and Luigi are real people who go into a pipe that sends them to the Mario world.
I haven't done much research on the movie.
I'm just judging based on like the trailers they put out.
For sure.
There's a very good trailer. I don't remember if we watched it on stream or not, but there is a good trailer, which is just Mario and Luigi's commercial for their plumbing service.
Mm.
It's good. It's fun.
I didn't even know Luigi was in this movie. It does say here, power up your bathing and watch the Super Mario Bros. Movie, only in theaters.
Luigi, wait, hold on. Luigi is being voiced by Charlie Day. They announced that off the bat.
It's like the Gollum game. I don't know what to tell you. It leaves my head.
Are you saying you didn't see the initial, the very initial like Nintendo Direct? They said all of the voice actors,
and I think I was too hyper focused on like that
Chris Pratt as Mario.
Chris Pratt had that big pause between stomping and then the name of any enemy he could grasp onto.
There's so many good fucking screenshots in that direct though. Like Keegan-Michael Key as Toad is like just as funny to me as Chris Pratt as Mario. Whatever, you can bathe in Mario's goop.
I think I might go with Luigi.
Yeah.
Let's move on to questions. If you want to send us a question.
Wow, and you just avoid the shower jelly.
Okay. Get my ass, I guess. Get my ass for avoiding the shower.
It's a little jelly that you just like you bathe with it.
They actually okay. Real quick, Audible.
Yeah.
Can I see when this was posted? This was March 18th. Yeah, I'm assuming this other cello question that's here, they did last week. Yeah, because that's about Lance Reddick. I'm just gonna go ahead and delete that. But cello did also send. Okay. On Unbreak for the editor. If you want to send us a question, you can go ahead and send them to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. You could just like tweet it at us or something. I don't care. We said you could DM us questions before. Don't do that. That's a bad idea. Because 1, we don't check the DMs. 2, Twitter is a problem now, and now Twitter DMs are filled with people trying to sell you NFTs. So don't ever DM us a question on Twitter. We do have an email too, but I don't think we ever check it. But if you want to send it there and just let it live, that's podcast@videogame. No, wait. Yeah. It's podcast@videogamechoochoo.com. If you want to send us a question, you can send a lot like Cello Buster, our friend. Cello Buster asks, what's your favorite game to play under the cover of night? What's your night game?
For a while, my night game was this farming simulator / witchy, like, dating sim sort of game called Wildflowers. And that was kind of nice.
Part of my bedtime routine has become just booting up a gacha game and just playing it until I pass
That's
out.
Excellent.
So, and my gacha game of choice is, of course, War of the Visions Final Fantasy Brave Exvius. Currently on its 3rd anniversary, still going strong. And you know what? My gacha minute. War of the Visions, the story in that game, fucking excellent. The side story with like the Crystal Warriors, that one sucks ass. It's not worth reading. But the main story, absolutely truly great. Yeah, I'm actually, you know what? I'm gonna take a small break right now because there is a screenshot from the main story I need to send to you.
I don't know. My night game, that's whatever my date. It's whatever my day game is. Like I don't. No, I swear, like, whenever I have, like, games on my rotation, I will just play them until completion, and then it's like, I ought to figure out a better, like, routine for that, because there are definitely a lot of options. I need to have my Switch on, like, handheld mode more often, or whenever, like, a generous benefactor gets me a Steam Deck.
I believe in your ability to get a Steam Deck. Hold on, I'm still trying to send you the picture. Here it is. Here it comes. And if one of you could please read what that says for me.
What I would give for you to cast Toad on me, then gently squish me under your heel.
Who was that?
That's just a Rundall soldier. He is literally a random guy, like not even a named character, is just saying, "Hey, I wish this person would turn me into a frog and then step on me."
No, the voice, the accent.
That's Maverick. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's what I assume perverts sound like. I don't know.
But no, the story in War of the Visions Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, I stand by it. It's good. Okay. What's your favorite night game? Or have we said our night games? Here's the thing. I will explicitly tell you right now, if there's a game that I am playing, not like Resident Evil, because I don't find games like Resident Evil scary. If I'm playing a game though that is like very explicitly a horror game, I will play it full lights on. Like, no way. I ain't getting spooked today, buddy. I ain't getting absorbed in this. Don't love it that much. I like horror generally. But some stuff's too spooky for me. That is full daytime for me. Yeah, I'll play anything else. Really?
I mean,
I can't remember the last game that is like that's been my like, okay, I'm gonna wait till it's dark out and turn off all the lights and just get absorbed. That's just like not the way I play games anymore.
Yeah, I don't have like an after dark kind of game. Do you want to know the game I play most often? In the dark is probably just fucking Destiny.
Destiny?
Yeah, like, it's the end of my day. You know, I'm just shooting. It's whatever.
Just killing.
It's like a game that you can zone out and play. So it's like when I'm doing that thing where I really want to go to sleep and really need to go to sleep, but I'm like, no, I'm going to resist this for some reason. That's it.
Thank you so much for your night games. I got one more question for you. This one comes from Anonymous. Anonymous asks, why did EA model Satan's penis in Dante's Inferno and choose to depict it as what could be described as a, quote, wiggly Pringles can? I decided to do a little bit of research for you.
I don't want to Google Satan's penis.
Yeah, I did it in a...
I remember this.
It's... His thing swinging.
Just honking around.
Yeah, I have a video for you as well, because it is an actual, like, boss fight. I grabbed a 4K 60 FPS version for you. But he really do just got a swanging thing. I never played Dante's Inferno. I didn't physics. Know. They gave it physics. It's just fucking moving around. Well, why did they do it? I think more games should do this, honestly. Like they were geniuses ahead of their time.
I think they committed to the aesthetic.
Yeah. There was I haven't watched the movie, but in The Northman there's notoriously like a story about how like they wanted a scene where like there's a fight where two guys are just naked and sword fighting each other.
All right.
And they initially wanted it just like full on hog out. Like that was the plan, is just like full on hog out, no like sword fighting. But then like somewhere along the process they were like, no, you can't do that. so they just shoot around it, and they're like, you know, they edit around it so it's like there's no hog being seen, even though it's still two naked dudes fighting. And it's like, bro, just like let that thing swing. Like,
why wouldn't Satan have his dick and balls out?
Yeah, it's not like Satan's like big and rippled and strong. Like, why? Like, he doesn't wear clothes. Like, what do you think? What are you fucking talking about? You would.
That shit's like a horse cock.
But no, it's truly like insane that like we don't get more like absurd creative choices like this when it comes to nudity in games. Because here's the other thing is like dicks are very funny. Like it's like there's obvious reasons why people don't depict like boobs and pussy in games that much, because it's like, you know, obviously misogyny for one, but like, you know,
well, no, because if I see that, I just immediately stop playing the game and I gotta go take a shower, because it's like, oh, I'm so riddled with like lust as a man, obviously.
And it's not like seeing a big old thing that's like flopping and flooming around. It's not
flopping around. You're like, whoa.
It's like, it's not that's not like sexually attractive to people, because obviously it is, but it's like, it's just you just funny to see
hearing yakety sax playing in your head.
Yeah, you can do the same thing with like funny ass titties too or something, but I don't know. Like we don't get enough like dick comedy in video games, you know? Like the last like real like anywhere major game that I can think of that does anything like that is Mount Your Friends. Like that's just got like full like sack physics, and that's funny. Like that's part of what makes that game fun. Yeah, I don't know. We need more comical nudity in games.
This was kind of ahead of its time. Why did they do it? We'll never know.
Why did they do it? Because they're geniuses.
But you can see...
Thank you so much for listening to the podcast.
Because you just wanted that shit swinging.
Sometimes you get to see a moment where someone or a bunch of people made a really, really intentional decision and, like, stuck with it till the end. And this is what you see. Mm-hmm. Is a big old thing swinging around during your boss fight.
And part of it is obviously marketing, because this was like I remember one of the highlights of Dante's Inferno, like when it was coming out, was like, oh, this game is fucking like mature, it's edgy and shit. And this is like a little after the like God of War era, where like, you know, Kratos was out there like fucking multiple chicks who had like huge ass honking titties just fully out. Right. And it's like, you know, like nudity was becoming way more commonplace in games, and now it's sort of regressed, I think, because like as sort of fidelity has become a bigger thing, like if people did show like really realistic nudity, it would become more of an issue. Like they really went for it in Cyberpunk, but like them doing it in Cyberpunk also became like one of the big things people talked about Cyberpunk is the fact that you had a penis too. Mm-hmm. But it's like there was a time where this was becoming a lot more commonplace, but like even so, one of the like talking points could have easily been for people just like trying to share this word of mouth is like, bro, this game is insane. You fight Satan at the end and he's just got like a huge dong. And it's just flopping around the entire time you fight him.
This was in my brain somewhere. You unlocked it. Because it's this.
I didn't do it. Anonymous did it. Thank you, Anonymous.
But it's like this, and then the trailer, which was pretty stylish, and those are the only two things that I remember about Dante's Inferno. So
listen, this stuck with one of our listeners enough to bring it up to us in the year of our Lord 2023. That's what matters.
We'll never know why they did it, except
it was a better time, and we should have more final boss fights with huge ass dogs just swinging around, or make them tiny too. Like get the whole range out there. That'd be fun too.
I'm really hoping
just like seeing a very normally sized hog swinging around.
I really hope that someday in my travels I'll just meet somebody who's like, oh yeah, I worked on, you remember Dante's Inferno? And I'll be like, do I?
Oh yeah, I did the cock physics. Yeah, that was me.
I'll be like, oh man, I've been waiting for years to ask you this question.
We have to finish this podcast.
No, okay.
Thank you so much for listening to the Video Game Choo Choo Podcast, where you can hear our whole opinions swanging the entire time.
Eyes closed, just swanging.
I'm Scott B, FKA Socks on Twitter. Maverick, where can people find you?
People can find me on Twitter at Mavsplaniamania. That's at MAVSPLANIA. I'm not going anywhere else, dog. If the fucking website crashes, whatever.
And Franny, where can people find you? What kind of cool stuff you doing?
I'm going to Mania Week in LA.
Ooh.
Shooting a couple shows. Doing some stuff like that. You can find me on Twitter at a real Goldmouth. Kind of spelled how it sounds.
A real
one. Goldmouth was taken by a band who hasn't released any music in like 6 years. So that's
I'm sorry.
Fine. And that's pretty much where I'm at. And it's the same name pretty much everywhere else. So, yeah.
Awesome. America's Next Top Podcast co-host. Still on break, but planning on getting back into the swing of it. We took an extended break specifically because of Game of the Year. And now that Game of the Year is finished, it is a tumultuous time for us to be recording podcasts. So unfortunately, we're taking a bit of a longer break than we intended, but we're planning on doing another one pretty soon. I actually have an episode recorded that I haven't edited yet, mainly because I was doing Game of the Year editing. It's fucking amazing guest, though. Hilarious episode. Will be up, I think, when we're ready to like actually start recording episodes regularly again. But I'll try and put it on the Patreon as soon as I can. That's going on. That's what's going on in my stuff. If you want to support us via Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/VGCC to get all of our content a week early only for the cost of our Express Pass, which is $3 a month. You can go and find our anime podcast, which Mav is a regular on. Any good anime lately, Mav?
Well, as we're getting ready for this week, what is it? Last week on the free feed, we just put out our episode where we all got a chance to look at the Kyo Annie film Liz and the Bluebird, based off of a spin-off on one of their other series. That was a great time, great chance to talk about something that genuinely was interesting in terms of where anime films are at that point, like late 2010s, right after Your Name, just very particular seeing like the medium go up.
Awesome.
But this upcoming episode, we are going to be talking about going through the spring 2023 anime season and seeing like what's coming out, gabbing about any potential picks on our end on just like what to watch. And here's hoping it's good, because sometimes anime is not good.
It'd be like that. All right. And you can catch all of this past week's Video Game Choo Choo coverage. All of this past week's Game of the Year coverage on videogamechoochoo.com, on Twitter at VGChooChoo, Tumblr, videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com. Add a good old /ask at the end to go and ask us a question. Video Game Choo Choo on Facebook. You can watch the Video Game Choo Choo Awards on both YouTube and Twitch. That's youtube.com/videogamechoochoo, twitch.tv/VGChooChoo, and our theme song, of course, as always, is Crush off the album Magic is Real by Melt Channel. You can check out their work at meltchannel.bandcamp.com and their project Magic-Circuit at magic-circuit.bandcamp.com. I called the Magic-Circuit. I'm so sorry. It's Magic Circuit. But it is magic-circuit.bandcamp.com. Any closing thoughts before we send this one home?
I bought the Luigi goo.
That's great. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. Good night. Goodbye. Bang. Chugga chugga.